I think we're live again. Bit of a different setting for me today, and not sat in a dodgy looking car with dodgy looking lighting. I sat in a dodgy looking kitchen instead, and this time I've made notes. So rather than ramble on for 10 minutes, I'm actually going to ramble on for 10 minutes with notes. And I've entitled this Facebook Live video Fitbitches movement, which is now what we're calling everything. Very exciting. And it's about motivation, because I think that is the one thing that was most prevalent in last week's video, was about my motivation, where I get it from, what keeps me going. And it was what people were asking me about a lot afterwards, saying that they struggle with motivation, whether they're running alone or running with a group, or they're doing a fitness activity, or they are just getting up and going out to the gym in the morning or in the evening, or fitting it all in. How do you keep going? So I thought I'd backtrack a little bit and start right at the beginning of my journey, and just to like see where we go with that. So a lot of people have been asking me why I started with Couch to 5k, and the simple answer is I was at a Slimming World meeting. One of the ladies there in the group had said that she was doing this Couch to 5k program, and they were halfway through the plan, and she'd already felt her bum tightening up and her thighs were smaller, and it was the reason why she was sticking with the Slimming World plan, because it's not a diet, it's an eating plan, sticking with the eating plan and doing the exercise as well. And she was finding the two were collaborating really, really well. So I inquired about it and I said, where are you up to? And she said, well, we're restarting again in June. So fabulous, I'm having a bit of that. And there was two other ladies with me, and we decided to start together. So we did that, we did the 9-week programme, and we ran 5k after it. I was like gobsmacked. And that was, so it started in June. Is it June? We started in June in 2014, and we ran 5k in August 2014. So that's where I started. And the reason I carried on is because I wanted to go back and do it all again. I wanted to get better, I wanted to get faster, I was a little bit hooked, but I wasn't admitting it to anybody. And I just wanted to make sure that I kept myself going with this. I loved the group ethos, which I'll come to in a minute, and I just needed more of it. And it was only a small, tight-knit group, and anyway, they said they were starting on such and such a date, so I turned up to the first meeting, so I thought, and it was actually a volunteers meeting. And I thought, oh God, I went, sorry, I've come to the wrong meeting. And the guy who organised all this thing had said, basically, oh no, come in, it's fine. He said, we really want you to be a volunteer. So I said, oh, I'm not really into anything like that. I can't really commit to it. And he went, no, it's fine. And he taught me through it. And basically I ended up leading group 6, which became my life for about 2 years. And every time you'll see me tag anything on Instagram, it was always hashtag group 6 forever. And basically that became my then network of people who I helped motivate through Couch to 5k program, and then they helped in turn motivate me. And there was a group of people there who we really gelled, we really clicked, and they kept coming back and they volunteered with me plan after plan. And then we all decided that we had this goal, we wanted to go and run a little bit further, so we went and did the progression plan, which was moving up from 5k to 10k. Now that was absolutely fantastic, we all did it, amazing. Halfway through that plan, I started having problems with my knees, and I was having real trouble running, and I lost my motivation a little bit. These guys were amazing, they helped me through it, and they talked me through it, and we got through it as a group. But after that, I became very demotivated because I was struggling to run. I was struggling to find a reason to go out of the front door because I knew it was going to hurt, and I was struggling to keep up with them in more ways, or not just in the speed or the pace, but also their dreams and their goals. They were all heading off to do 10 miles, and they had half marathon goals, and my half marathon goal was there as well, which was supposed to have been last year. And I ended up having 3 months off. I found out after scans that I had arthritis in my knees. I was told to stop running, and I had a Baker's cyst on the back of my other knee, and basically it was a case of, you've got to stop. And I'm not stopping. I'm sorry, I'm not stopping. And my doctor turned around to me and said, well, you've got to take it easy. So after a bit, I went back to Couch to 5k, and I learned to fall in love with it again. And that's where my motivation comes from. I always go back to the beginning. I always go back to my happy place, my comfort zone, my comfort blanket, and to see the faces of those who have no belief in themselves whatsoever on week one, day one, when they think, oh my God, I've got to run for 60 seconds. I can't even walk to the end of the path, or I can't run to the shop or whatever. And then 9 weeks later, you see them smashing it out of the park, taking every single doubt that they ever had, just chucking it out there and going and running. And it is running, it's not walking, it's not jeffing, which is the running and walking thing. It's running the whole of 3.1 miles, 5k, 5 kilometres. And that is basically what motivates me. So I just wanted to cover that a little bit, because people are always asking me why I keep going, and that's why I keep going. And I've had this sort of like epiphany this week, if you will. I've really been struggling again recently. I've moved back up again to go and do 10Ks. You'll have seen over the past few months that I've been running the odd 10K race here and there, and I've a lot of self-doubt at the moment, a lot of self-doubt, because I struggle with my pace, I struggle with my breathing, I struggle with just my own self-confidence. And I realised that it was because I like to be a motivator, I like to be a leader, and when I'm struggling, I'm not leading, I'm not having my own mind taken off my own insecurities and my own weaknesses, because I've got my mind on other things. So again, this movement, this Fitbitches thing, is my way of becoming a bit of a leader again, I suppose. I can always go and do Couch to 5k again, that's no problem, they're always after volunteers, but I also want to spend some time doing this for myself as well. So yeah, I'm hoping I'm going to get the best of both worlds with this, and I'm surrounding myself with people who are feeling the same, and it's starting to become quite a nice little group, a nice little community. So thumbs up on that one. Somebody else asked me as well, how did I feel the first time I ever ran 5 kilometres? I'll be truthful, the first time I ever ran it, I thought I was going to die. Literally thought I was going to die. We got to the end of it. I felt elated that I'd run this distance, but I didn't feel, how can I explain it? I didn't feel overly fantastic, because I knew I had to do it again, and I knew how much it hurt, and I knew how much I was struggling to breathe. But the more I did it, the more it got easier. And the first time I ever ran 5 kilometres, I did it, the first timed run was 42 minutes. And my ultimate goal, and I think a lot of people's goal, is to run it in under 30 minutes. The nearest I've ever got to that is 32 minutes and 40 seconds or something like that. And again, I felt exactly the same way. I was about to die. I thought my heart was going to jump out of my chest. It took me about 2 days to recover, have stiff legs afterwards, and I didn't enjoy it. So now my main focus is to make sure I enjoy the running, and to do it that way. So anyway, for me at the moment, it's not about times, it's about completing things and enjoying it and becoming fitter and faster. And when I say faster, I don't mean about the times. That's a weird way to look at it, but I just want to up my pace a little bit. Does that make sense? I'm hoping it makes sense. So then we go on to the motivation, and this is why I've entitled this video Motivation, How You Keep Going and things like that. I find having regular days where I know I'm going to go out for a run is the best way to keep me motivated. So I run on Mondays, I run on Thursdays, and I run on Saturdays. Everybody knows that. Everybody, I mean, I'm lucky my family's older now. My youngest is nearly 18, so there's not as much home commitment that I have to think about. So I can afford to take an hour out of my evenings, and I can afford to go down to the country, go down to the park and meet with a whole load of other daft people who want to go out and pound the streets of Blackburn. And that, for me, versus running alone, is the best motivator. I know that I mentioned this last time I was on a live video. I've mentioned it in my blog posts, that the main reason, my main motivation is knowing that somebody is out there who will either feel the same way as me, or who will be there to help me through it, just in the same way that if I'm having a good day, I will help somebody else through it. And that's been a long time coming recently, actually. It's been hard work. This winter has been really hard work, and I don't mind admitting it. And I do get a lot of people telling me differently, you know, so like telling me that I'm doing well. I'm not a slow runner. My pace is good, but up here it's still not sinking in. It really isn't sinking in up here. But that's what I have to concentrate on. That's my weakness at the moment. That's my hurdle I have to get over. That is my mountain to climb. And again, surrounding myself with positive people who don't mind talking me through it, don't mind bigging me up, don't mind taking time out of their day to help me through it, is again what keeps me going. So I feel like I'm rambling again. I really do. I don't know. Anyway, next thing. So it was the running alone versus the running in a group. So it's all about, for me, running in a group, there's three things. It's the pace. So you will always have your faster runners at the front, and you will always have your slower runners at the back. And when I was with Couch to 5K, I was always at the front, and I always set a pace for the group. And we made sure we were very inclusive. We kept the pace to a standard for the group so that everybody was included. And if there was some slightly slower runners, which there always will be, we always made sure that we did a regrouping process where the front runner will loop around and go and meet the back runner, and then you all run around in a loop and you all stay together that way. Then nobody gets left behind, nobody runs on their own, and we have enough volunteers to be placed throughout the group, so everybody always gets support. There's always volunteers at the front, there's always volunteers at the back. That is the unique bit of community running, and that is part of where the motivation comes into it. When you look at that against running alone, I think it's very hard to find a pace to stick to, because I know I've been out running on my own. I've run on the treadmill. You will always, always, always run faster than you need to, or faster than is comfortable. And it's weird because you're not battling anybody again other than yourself, but you always will set off a little bit faster. And I think that's where some of the negativity and some of the, you know, sort of like trying to find your breathing and everything else like that, the comfort zone is difficult, because you've got nobody to judge against, and you've got nobody helping you out to set that pace. You are your own boss, if you will, whereas when you're in a group, you've got all these other people to think about. So, and the other thing as well is, with our community running, we disallow headphones because it's for safety reasons more than anything. We're out on the streets. We want people to be aware of the traffic, to be aware of the environment around them, also to be aware of their fellow runners. You know, this support network, you talk to people, you help them through it, you make sure that everybody's feeling okay, nobody's left behind, nobody's left out, nobody's struggling, or if they're struggling, find a way to make them feel a bit more positive about themselves. So headphones are a big no-no, and that means that I've never run listening to music or listening to podcasts or with anything in. I've got weird ears anyway. I can't have those in-ear headphones, so because they just drop out. But I've learnt to run without music. And also races in this area, you're not allowed to wear headphones, you get disqualified if you wear headphones. So that's been a good discipline for me to learn. However, I do know that people, when they're running on their own, they do like to listen to music. And there's these new ones that fit onto your temples or somewhere around here that don't actually go into ears. So that probably is a good way to have the music and also to be aware of your surroundings, just like your peripheral vision and things like that. But I just can't. I find when I'm listening to music, I run to the beat, and I either run too slowly or I run too fast. More usually too fast. So anyway, hello Julie, thank you. She goes, you're so inspirational. Julie's one of my old runners. I don't mean that in a weird way. Julie was part of my group who I don't run with anymore, and Julie has kept going with the group. So Julie, you're just as inspirational. I do love the way you keep coming back and you keep enjoying it and you keep joining in. And I think that's an important part of this community, is always having a familiar face there as well. So thank you, Julie. Yay. And the other thing was, with the running together, I'm always very conscious about, now especially, I know where people are coming from. Now I'm with the slowest runner, or one of the slowest runners of the group. I'm always worried that I'm holding other people back. And again, it goes back to when I was leading a group. I always go to people, no, you're not, you're not holding people back. We're regrouping, we run together. But I'm like going, oh, now I'm holding people back. And again, all psychological, but that again is my negative thing. And it's the bit that I need to get over to get myself motivated. And again, do you feel the need to keep up? Yes, I do feel the need to keep up because I think I'm holding people back. But the way that I turned that around last night was, it was a really interesting one. We set off from a new starting point last night. We've changed venues. So we set off from Blackburn Rovers Football Club, Ewood Park, and we went up towards Darwin, and there is a fairly slow incline up that way, but I know I can do that hill. I quite like that hill. It's challenging enough for me, but I'm always knackered when I get to, completely and utterly knackered when I get to the top of it, but I know I can carry on. And we went into Darwin, we crossed over the road, and then we headed off back. Now, when we turned round and came back, something just clicked into place for me. I don't know what it was, and I got my fastest kilometre paces that I've had in a long, long time. I was still the slowest of the group, but when I looked at my Strava app when I got back, I'd been running the fastest I'd run for an awfully long time. Don't know why, don't know how, don't care, but it gave me last night a massive boost, and I could actually feel it in myself. I was running better, I was running more with the group. So I came away last night feeling very, very confident about everything. That'll all disappear on Thursday, but at least I'm feeling good about it for the time being. That's the main thing. Oh, Julie's just said as well, she's doing her shuffle here in Cyprus, so she's off on a jollies, and she's still running round. I think they're on 28 minutes this week, I think it is. So Julie will be doing her 28-minute runs around Cyprus. I'm very jealous. So hello, Claire. Thank you for joining me, sweetheart. Claire's my group leader. She's gonna hate me for saying this, but she really, really does inspire me, actually. I've seen her go from just doing a 3-mile run with us to hopping on a plane going to Berlin, and not quite like that, but hopping on a plane going to Berlin and running a half marathon. And I don't know how she does it, how she switches from one to the other. And I know there's an awful lot of training in between, and it's just not something that's on my radar at the moment. It used to be, it's not anymore. I have reviewed my goals and I've cut that goal out. I don't want to do that anymore, but I am in absolute admiration of anybody that can actually do that. So Claire really inspired me, so thank you for joining us today. For A on my motivation list here, somebody had said, with the motivation, what do you do with weather conditions? Seriously, when you're with our running group, you run in every single kind of weather you can possibly imagine. We've run in snow, we've run in hail, we've run in the heaviest downpour of rain you can possibly imagine. We've run in the heat waves of last summer, if you can call British summer heat waves. We have run in spring, summer, autumn, winter, you name it, we're out running. It's not easy all the time, but I remember taking my group out running once, and we turned this corner, it was hailstoning, and we turned this corner and literally the hail was coming in sideways like that. And I went, sod this, we can't go that way, we're turning around, we're going the other way. So you're always thinking about how you can make this easier for other people. But nobody died, everybody got back safely. We didn't lose anybody on the way, and nobody jibbed or said, I'm not doing this because it's raining. We're not made of sugar. Yeah, you'll get a bit wet, but have a warm shower when you get back. You'll soon, you know, dry off and warm yourself back through again. I have been in a race where I got so soaked, it literally took me about 2 days to warm back up again. That was fun. But yeah, all weathers, get out, just do it, embrace it, enjoy it. But again, I'll go back to it. The only reason I do it is because I've got other people there doing it with me. I would love to hear from people who do this on their own. How do you go out when it's frosty? You know, piling all the layers on and everything like that, getting your gloves on, getting your sort of like your woolly hat on or your headband with it covers your ears up, and then going out that front door knowing that it's going to be you on your own for the next hour or however long. How do you do it? I'd be really, really interested in knowing what motivates you to do that, because I would just stay in my house and I'd run on the treadmill. As much as I hate it, I would run on the treadmill because I would not want to go out on my own. And the same again, if it was really, really hot. I've run in hot weather, but I've always had somebody like dragging me along going, come on, Nick, it's fine, you know, we can do this. And then we've just been sat there in like a puddle of our own sweat at the end of it. But we've been there panting away together going, you know, like, it's fine, you know, we've survived it type of thing. Hi to Marissa. Marissa said, I actually prefer running in the rain as long as it's not enough to drown me. That's it. Like I said, we're not made of sugar. I don't think anybody will drown from a little bit of rain. And in fact, it takes me back to when I was running 10k a few weeks ago. It was the most dreadful weather. It was out in the countryside. It was the East Lancs Hospice 10k. And half of it is down little country paths. Then you go up this hugely, stupidly steep hill, round a park, then back down the really steep hill, and then along the canal. But these little country paths that take you through the first, probably the first 3.5 kilometres of the 10k run, it was muddy. It'd been raining all week, and I was mincing around all these little puddles and everything, and the sides were all slippy, they were all muddy, and obviously they'd had all the speed runners go through there first, and you know, so like all the mud was then churned up, and then you went under this other bit where it was horrendous. And I'm thinking, why am I just mincing around the outside of I'm soaked to the skin anyway. So I just ploughed straight through the next puddle. It was ankle deep. I was soaked to the skin, but you know what? I made it fun. I'm going, right, I'm going to dive through this. The only thing I thought was, we're going to do a Dawn French in a minute. You know, when she's in the Vicar of Diblin, she falls straight down into that puddle. I did think that might happen at one point, but it didn't, you know, and everything was okay. And I got home and I was freezing and my feet were soaked. But it was great. The first thing I did was take a picture of my muddy trainers, because to prove to me and to everybody else that I'd done it, and that was my reminder of the day. So weather conditions, yeah, just get out there, just do it. And I think the differences between running and other disciplines, like if you're in a gym and you're doing your HIIT training, or you're doing your circuit training, or you're doing weights, or you're doing a fitness class. I know that they do hot yoga, and you know, there are other ways to ramp it up a little bit in some exercise classes, but generally gyms are air conditioned, so I would find it very, very difficult to probably do anything at home gym wise, you know, weight wise or anything like that, because you don't have the air conditioning here. So again, I'd be interested to hear from people who, you know, do that type of workout as well. What was next? Keeping going is the next note on my list. So as I mentioned, I did the Couch to 5k. I went up to the 5 to 10k progression group, and then I was going to go on to 10 miles and half a marathon, but the injury stopped me dead in my tracks, you know, no pun intended, but literally stopped me from wanting or being able to do anything like that. So my goal now is just to improve on my 5k and my 10k times, slowly but surely. So this year I've set myself different goals. I don't want to do, well, I do want to, but my goal this year isn't to run 5 kilometres, in 30 minutes, because I failed at that the year that I set myself that, and I felt disappointed in myself. So this year I'm not setting myself that goal, and it is my dream to do 10 kilometres in an hour and 10 minutes. But that's not my aim this year. If that happens, it will be amazing. But it's not my aim. I've got 2 goals this year. I am doing at least 1 race per month so that I can get a medal a month. And the months that I don't race is there is this community online called Virtual Runner, and they do medals for different challenges. So it might be 1 month I say, right, I'm going to run 20 miles this week, and I'll see if there's like a medal or something that's available for that on the online community, and that will be my goal for that month, and I will get a medal from the website instead of actually running a race. So that is my goal, just to do a challenge a month, whether it be a race or something like that. And the other challenge is to run 1,000 kilometres in a year. So I know that's achievable. I've broken it down. It means I've got to do 19.4 something kilometres a week. Now, at the beginning of the progression plans, you don't cover that amount, but with the additional races and ramping up your mileage as you go through the plan, that all soaks it all up. I'm 8 kilometres down at the moment, but I know I can pull that back. That's not a problem. So I am on track, if you will, for that goal. 1,000 kilometres in a year. It's nothing to some people. It is absolutely everything to other people. For me, it's a manageable achievement, but it means that I have to make sure I am out those 3 times a week running approximately 20 kilometres a week. Now, some weeks I will run more than that, some weeks I will run less than that, but I'm averaging 20 kilometres a week at the moment, apart from the 8 that I'm missing, which I'm going to make up next week, I hope. Fingers crossed. So that will be that. So anyway, Marissa has just also said she wants to take part in more races and park runs. Park run is an amazing community experience. I would say that there are park runs in almost all areas of the UK, and even in the, it's like around Europe as well. I know that they're available around Europe. We have a local one, and I know that we do also do a little bit of park run tourism. So we sometimes go up to Burnley. There's one in Preston. There's a couple in Preston actually. Both of them have horrendous hills in them. And it's nice to go out and see where other people run, and to have that community aspect elsewhere as well. So if you want to just go and do a 5k, have a look at your local park run. And I know that ours in Blackburn and some of the others, they do encourage walkers, power walkers, to do it as well. So it's not all about doing it in 28 minutes or 32 minutes or whatever. There are walkers that do it as well, and they always have a last runner stroke walker marshal, so nobody's ever left behind. I think I've only ever heard a couple of bad experiences from park run, and considering I hear a lot of people talking about park run, it's just to hear a couple of negative experience is absolutely nothing. So yeah, definitely have a look into it. So Julie's saying that she's found it quite hard to run alone. I think it must be her granddaughter. Her granddaughter was running with her, but she doesn't want to. So I think that's nice. It's a family thing, and nobody knows your granddaughter in Cyprus. Tell her not to worry about it. And again, Marissa has said she walks 6k on a school day. Yeah, and do you know what? When you backwards and forwards to schools, 6k is absolutely nothing. So her body is used to doing it, and it doesn't seem to have an effect on any weight loss. Right, now this is a good point to make, and this is one that Rick, our the guy that has organised Group Run Blackburn, he always asks a question at the beginning of every plan. He goes, who's here to lose weight? And I would say 80% of the people put their hand up. And he always says, you will not lose weight running alone, like just doing running. It has to be about a lifestyle change. It has to be about changing your diet. It has to be about changing the way you move. It's about changing your exercise, and it's about doing more with your body. So yeah, just running or just walking or doing what your body's used to will not help you lose weight. I'm not an expert. I'm not even going to profess to know more about it than that. But that is a really good place to start, is to know that just doing the exercise on its own won't help you lose the weight. It will help you lose the weight, but it won't be the main reason for your weight loss. Marissa says again, we have a local park run every Saturday morning, and they don't care if you run or walk, and they welcome children as well. I really must get there more. The thing is, some park runs as well, on a Sunday morning they do a 2-kilometre children's race, so that might be worth looking into. Hi Lee, thank you for joining us. And then again, Marissa says she's changed diet. She needs the extra runs to have the positive effect. You have to push yourself. That's very, very true. It's finding the time sometimes, and this is why I have my set days. I don't do anything on any of the other days. I should do. Maybe I should do more, but I don't do anything. I have my set days. What was the other thing I was going to talk about? Just talked about diet. Somebody had asked me to talk about trainers and dealing with injury. I mean, I've mentioned my own injury journey, which isn't quite over. But I think what I'll do is, I've talked a lot about me and my journey. I think I'll pick up on equipment, or, you know, such like clothing, trainers and things like that another time, because I think that's a whole entity in itself, because the Fitbitches movement is going to be very much about not just running. It's about different disciplines. It's about doing what suits you in your own time and how you fit that in. I mean, we had a conversation in the group this week alone, just looking at, I mean, all my running is done at set times. So it's 7 o'clock on a Monday, 7 o'clock on a Thursday, 9 o'clock on a Saturday. And if there's any races, they're usually on a Sunday. And they're usually probably between 9 and 11 in the morning. So I know I'll be finished for 12, 1 o'clock, back home, Sunday dinner in the oven, and that's me done for the day. So that is how, you know, sort of like I focus on that. But one of the girls in the group had said that she'd got up at 5:15 in the morning to go to the gym. She wanted to go early doors because she thought it would be, did she think it was going to be quiet? I think she thought it was going to be quiet. And she said it was heaving. And I'm thinking, you're all mad, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym. And then I saw 2 videos on Facebook. One about an old 80-year-old lady. She doesn't even look old, she looks younger than me. Who was doing all the weight training and everything like that. She's amazing. Just search for 80-year-old weight trainer or whatever it is on Facebook, and you'll find it. And she is unbelievable. And then there was another one, can't remember the theme of it now, but this girl got up. Oh, I'll tell you what, it was, what's her name? She has a YouTube channel and she's training for the London Marathon, and her videos are called BQ or Bust. I can't remember her name now. Eat, Sleep, Selfie, Repeat or something like that. Look it up anyway. I'll put a link in down in the comments later on. And she'd got up at 3 AM to go and do her gym work before she then went out. I mean, I think she's self-employed anyway, but then she did some work and then she went out on her training runs, and then she came back and did some more work. And I'm thinking, when do you sleep? Do you go to bed at 7 AM? 7 PM? What is going on up here in your head that you have to get up at 3 AM or 2 AM to go to the gym to then be able to go about your normal day? I'm thinking, you're mental. But again, it goes back to, you have to do what suits you, what fits into your lifestyle, what motivates you. And if it's getting up at 3 in the morning to go to the gym when it's either quiet, or you know that your tribe, I'll come back to that in a minute because that's a brilliant thing, your tribe will be there to encourage you, then that's it. That's what you've got to do. You've got to go with the flow. And I think I'm going to finish on that, is finding your tribe. Kate, my friend Kate Sutton, she has a blog called witwitwoo, witwitwoo.com I think it is, has written a brilliant post this week about finding your tribe. So I now have 2 tribes. I have my running community, who are the most amazing tribe in the world, and I know who will be there to really push me to the absolute limits. And I now have my other tribe, who are my Fitbitches, and who we are all creating this mini little community together, who are just all encouraging, all very positive language, who aren't all doing the same thing like I am in my other tribe. They're all doing different things, but we're all women and we're all fighting for each other, and we're all very motivated to each other. And the line that they came up with, does it think it was Rachel that came up with this line this week, or was it Sophie? It was either Rachel or Sophie. I'm sorry if I've got it wrong. They said, what was it? Finding your you find the tribe with the vibe, or something like that. And I'm thinking, yes, just that's it. That's the type of positive language that I am so pleased that these girls have got me with this. They've really understood what I'm doing and what my thoughts are with this. So I'm just going to leave you with that thought. Find your tribe. In fact, leave me a comment below just under this video and tell me how you find, or how you intend to find, your tribe. Is it to do with this Fitbitches movement? Is it to do with the people that you go to the gym with? Is it to do with your family supporting you, just being there for you? Just, is that your tribe? You know, so what can we do as Fitbitches to help you find your tribe, to find your vibe? And on that note, I think that's where I'll finish. I've rambled on for God, oh my God, it's over half an hour. I'm so sorry. So yeah, that's it. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all again soon. Share the video, tell your friends. Thank you. See you soon. Bye for now.